Hi, my name's Rob O'Byrne and welcome to the next video in the series of outsourcing to grow your business. So this time we're going to be talking about what to outsource. So in the last video I mentioned that a lot of people want to embrace the concept of outsourcing and they're very eager to do it for a whole variety of reasons, and then once they get into it or they're about to hire their first VA, they start to think, what am I going to get them to do? So the first thing I would say is don't panic. As you get into the relationship, you're going to find heaps for them to do. But of course, if you don't want them sitting around somewhat idle in the first stage of the relationship, a bit of planning goes a long way. So what I would suggest is make a list of all of the tasks that you currently do. Now, if you're anything like me, a few years ago before I got into this, I was doing everything. So just think about your working day, your working week, all of the things that you spend a lot of time on. I bet a lot of it is on emails, a lot of it is managing your diary, a lot of it will be preparing documents and formatting documents and PowerPoints. You're probably doing some blogging. You're probably recording some videos on your phone, something like that for marketing. You're probably doing stuff with your website. You're probably posting on social media. You might be managing your sales pipeline. Maybe you have a list of prospects that you're following up. You may have, you're invoicing clients, you're calling clients to set appointments or to chase invoices. You're doing some email marketing. Maybe you're setting up some events. It goes on and on and on. There's probably at least 100 tasks that you do during any given week. Now what I would suggest is look at each of those tasks and kind of give them a bit of a priority. So are these, a lot of people refer to these as, are these the $5 tasks? Is this, clearing the spam out of my inbox, unsubscribing from stuff that I don't want anymore, doing a quick update on the website, posting a social media post that I wrote last week. Are these the $5 jobs that really anybody could do? Much lower level of skill than you are. And then think about what are the tasks that you should be doing? What are the ones that you as the business owner, the entrepreneur, need to be spending your time on? It's all the customer facing stuff. It's out there talking to your customers. It's out there closing sales. It's out there delivering services, whatever that might be. So maybe let's start to highlight some of the ones that a VA could do for you. Helping you with your emails. That takes hours a day sometimes. Helping you with your diary. Give you a tip on that. When people approach me for appointments or catching up, I immediately reply. In fact, I don't do it anymore. My PA replies and says, when would you like to meet? She'll do all the diarising for me. I actually don't get involved in that at all. Preparing documents, maybe just formatting, posting to the blog, doing a quick edit of a video, an update of a website. In fact, most of these a VA could do. Posting on social media, actually managing the pipeline, keeping that up to date, or your contact list. Gee, we left that one off. Really valuable. Invoicing clients, calling clients. In fact, all of these a VA could do. What we didn't put in, face to face with clients. That's what you're doing. Closing sales. That's what you're doing. Delivering services, that's what you're doing. Most of this a VA could do. Maybe not on day one, but eventually, yes, all of it, absolutely. So what I would say then is as you get into using a virtual assistant, If you dump all that on them on day one, they're going to drown, quite simply. So what I would do is say, start easy, start simple. Have a look at your list and say, well, okay, what's a couple of things there that would really free up my time, but are quite easy for a VA to grasp? It might be tidy up my inbox every morning and after lunch every day. Get rid of the spam, unsubscribe from whatever it is. Look out for customer emails that I need to respond to. That's a really easy one. Maybe some quick edits of your video, something like that. Things that if they don't get it right first time, it's not going to be the end of the world. So low risk things. You need to build confidence in their ability. They need to build their confidence in working for you. So don't give them high risk stuff right to begin with. Once they're coping with that okay, give them a bit more, give them a bit more. And then monitor. I'll talk about how to monitor how they're going through those initial periods. So start simple. Simple tasks. As they're getting to grips with those, as they're grasping those, then you can add more. Now, one really important thing that I want to talk about is training. And this is where a lot of entrepreneurs and small business owners get it wrong with virtual assistants. They will bring a VA on board, throw a heap of work at them, and then wonder why it didn't work. This is just like someone coming in and working in your office. You need to build up their workload gradually, and you need to give clear instructions and training on what you want. I was very lucky when I started with my first VA. It was, I think she started on January the 2nd. And January in my business is very quiet. So I was able to spend quite a bit of time coaching and training in those early weeks. I might have spent an hour a day, to be honest, doing that. And the sorts of training that work really well are videos. For any task that's not a one-off, create a short video. It might be a video on your phone. If it's something on your computer, you can use screen capture software. Some good ones are Camtasia, and there's another one called Jing. I think they actually come from the same company. So you can actually show somebody on the screen with your headset on talking, and they're going to get a video with the sound. And you can just post those. I would say create a little library of all these training videos. You might do it on Dropbox, and I'll talk about different software later. So you start to build up stuff, how to do this, how to do that. So imagine you could do that with your emails. So, okay, Jim, this is my Outlook or whatever you use. This is what it looks like. What I need you to do every morning is to look at the inbox, and you'll notice that there's a whole bunch of junk mail that came in overnight from the US. You can get rid of all these, just delete them. You'll see here, these types of emails are from clients. Put them in this folder for me to read later. That little 2-3 minute video shows them exactly how to do the task. The big benefit of doing it on a video is that it is there forevermore. Try always to give instructions in the early days and to give training in some sort of format that they can keep and refer to. That's really important, because they may say, yes, hi Susan, I've got that. I totally understand what you want. And maybe they didn't get it 100%. And I'll talk about that in a later video too, some of the cultural things to understand. Or, you've asked them to do a task, and then that was last week and they're having to do it again now, and they kind of forgot one bit of it. If there's a video or a document or something like that, they can just go back to that without bothering you. And that is really good practice anyway in any business, to start creating a library of training materials and procedures to show exactly how to do things. What's the one that people always say? That you should run your business like you're prepared to sell it. And the other thing that people say is document your business processes like McDonald's. So apparently they even have an instruction on how to wash a lettuce leaf. I wouldn't say you go to that extent, but you want to be thinking in that frame of mind. If this is a task that is going to be done regularly, and maybe other people are going to join and have to do it, I'll create a little training video. Might take you, 10 minutes to do it, but that's going to save you so much time down the track. So videos work really well. I do a lot of audios. I'm traveling a lot, so I'll just record an audio on my phone and say, look, what I'd like you to do is this. This is how you go about it. Here's the key steps. You know, I need it done by Friday or whatever. And then also, in the past, I've created documents. I tend to do more videos now because they're easy to do and they're quick. So a good example of training there would be when my PA staff first started working with me. She was booking all my flights and hotels. I travel a lot, and I'd be flying between cities for meetings. And of course, you know, this is one of the cultural things. You have to appreciate they don't necessarily know and understand the geography of your country. So I realized that sort of straight away, and I said, look, if I've got a 10 o'clock meeting in the city centre in Melbourne, it takes about 30 minutes to get from the airport. Sometimes the flights are late, so leave me at least an hour. So I need a flight that lands at 9 o'clock. To be totally safe, I'd rather land at 8:30, so an hour and a half I need to land before the meeting. You know, book me a car to pick me up, and then basically she would work it all out from there. And very easy. I've never had to explain anything ever again. And likewise, I'm having a meeting in the CBD, and then I'm going to, you know, wherever afterwards. You know, please look at the map, work out the travel distance. You know, it saves you having to explain it over and over. Just tell them how to do it the first time. So training is really important. And I think that will probably do for this video. So if you're thinking about what am I going to outsource, and this would be a really good exercise for you, even if you're kind of considering outsourcing and you're wondering if it's going to be worth it or not, write down all the tasks that you do, and if you don't get to 50, I'd be really surprised, and then tick off the ones that with a little bit of guidance and training somebody else could do. And I reckon you'll get at least 50% of those tasks ticked off. Just think about that. If half of the things you didn't have to do anymore. So that's the key thing. And then the training, we talked a little bit about, you know, videos, use of videos. Try to produce training in a format that is going to be there in a library, you know, forevermore. And if you do that, take a little bit of time up front, you're going to have a fantastic VA adding so much value to your business. Okay, so what's next? We'll talk about getting started. You've hired your first VA, it's kind of day one. Maybe we'll do a little bit of planning before day one, and you're going to hit the road. How do you actually get things working really well? See you on the next video.